Hello, this time I'm doing a live video, but outside. It is 10 minutes to midnight and I found a quiet place close to Nottingham Castle. I hope I'm speaking loud enough because I kind of don't want to wake someone. I hope the internet connection is good enough. Yeah, this happened a bit randomly because to escape the noise I actually have to go outside today because like in the Airbnb I'm staying, there are big roadworks, and I just got quite angry because my host actually left the flat from Sunday to Tuesday, and now I understand why. I was wondering, that's strange traveling, Sunday to Tuesday, and now I understand. Oh, are they coming for me already? I hope not. My host is gone from Sunday to Tuesday, and now I understand why, because of the roadworks, I think, and they didn't tell me. So my FI is quite offended. If that's true, I'm still gorging information if they actually just didn't tell me, which would be a bad thing. Don't offend my FI. If you do, then prepare for the worst. But I realize it's actually a good thing because I found this nice place close to Nottingham Castle, and it's actually outside of a pub, so I hope that no one is coming. My NI says there might be some interruption in between. I hope no one is calling the police. I wanted to do a video on SE versus NI. And hello, Holly. Can you hear me all right? I'm speaking quite quietly because I don't want to annoy anyone. I don't think it's residential, but the owner of the pub might still be awake and come for me sooner or later. I wanted to do this video on SE versus NI, and I couldn't because outside there was this road noise. Street work noise. So I actually, like I said, had to go out to actually be able to enjoy the quiet, which is kind of a paradox I really like. So normally I would stay in to have quietness, and now I have to go out to have quietness. It's really quiet here. I mean, it's midnight on what day is it even? Tuesday? Yes. Is it Tuesday? No, it's Monday. To actually have quiet, I had to go outside, and that's like a nice paradox that fits into the SE versus NI topic, because SE normally is for me the outside world, and NI is my inner world and how I perceive it. I make connections. In SE, I feel my body outside in the real world, like at the moment. It's kind of strange doing a video outside. It's kind of, that's a real challenge for me because I feel watched even though no one is around. So I made a few bullet points again. From the past days of travel, I noticed a lot of things so when I'm actually in the SE mode, it's hard for me to stop. I went walking one day, and after 4 hours I realized I could have a break. So that was quite interesting because I didn't consciously think, I will take a break then or then or then. I just walked and couldn't stop anymore. After 4 hours I then took a break. In the last 2 days it was similar with tennis watching. I watched tennis here in Nottingham for 2 days. And yeah, I went for a third day today, and after 2 hours I just had to leave because I was overwhelmed. And I realized, yeah, I shouldn't schedule SE activities like constantly. But yeah, because of like some of the tennis watching is like, you could say, work related. So yeah, the Saturday and Sunday was really, I had to do that. But yeah, there was no need for me to do that today, and I still wanted it. Like, I was in this SE grip, which was quite interesting. And part of the difficulty to stop is then, if I want to go to an I after a long period of SE, it is quite difficult. And I don't know why that is. I guess once I'm in the grip, it's hard to get out of the grip. So yeah, I don't know. Could again fit to this description of me becoming an ESFP in the outside world. And yeah, today was the first day where I was actually able to, after this like SE breakdown, I was able to like go into an I mode, just be inside, read, think, make connections, because I'm actually reading, I will talk about that later, I'm actually reading a book which fits very well into the SE versus NI and the description I made. What was it? Genius in the concrete versus genius in the abstract. So that in a few minutes, maybe, if there's no police coming. There are a few other things. So yeah, I was able to go into an I then today, and then the roadworks happened downstairs, and for like a few hours, I was fine. I just put on loud music, and then I went crazy because I finally got back into an I mode, and there was the outside world calling, Klaus, come back. And yeah, then I wanted to do this video, and I realized I can't because the roadworks were so loud, I would never have been able to focus. And it's quite interesting to now realize that I can actually have peacefulness outside and do a video outside, and it's fine. But that's probably because it's midnight now. Oh, what time is it? 5 minutes to midnight. If this was like 6 p.m. and there were people walking around, I could never do this. So I have to thank the road workers already for their noise, because they make me realize I can easily do videos outside. It just has to be at night, which is fine with me because I never go to sleep before 3. What else did I write? So one other point that is related was that I felt like a sense of loneliness, and that was very interesting because I never feel lonely. I literally never feel lonely. And this loneliness was not in the sense of like dreading it or worrying about me going digital nomad, but it was more like the absence of more SE after a long day of like extroverted sensing, like for like 10 or 12 hours. It was like, I thought, okay, that's it now. I'm going to an I now, but I couldn't. And that felt a bit strange, and like I thought, okay, now I would be fine now with meeting people, which is very strange for me. But yeah, I guess, yeah, it's difficult to leave an I to SE, but once I am in SE, it's also difficult to go back to an I. So it's like a strong pull in both directions, which is very interesting. Yes, oh yeah, I wrote all that down. No, interesting. Yeah, some points I didn't even see that I wrote them down, but I just said them, so that's fine. Yeah, and my theory is like, I think once you are open to the 5 senses, is it 5? I think so. Once you're open to that, it's very difficult to just go back into reflection, which I'm doing now, strangely, in the outside world. This is like, yeah, it's never connected. Like, the outside world to me is never connected with reflection. I mean, I'm doing it unconsciously in my mind, but this is probably the first time well, it's only my third video, but I never had like reflection periods outside. I kind of like it as long as it's quiet. I can hear a few cars in the background, but that's fine. Yes, and now the connection to the book I'm reading, that's what, like, I had the plan to do an SE versus an I video anyway, but then I read this book. I'm reading like essays by David Foster Wallace on tennis. He's a big tennis fan, and since I'm like starting my traveling to tennis tournaments now too, yeah, it's like a great like accompanying book. It's actually a present from one of my colleagues, an ISTJ. Yeah, the person I got along with best in the office. And so I want to read, can I actually read? Do an outside reading of an interesting passage? Yes. So what he says is, maybe what keeps us buying in the face of constant disappointment is some deep compulsion both to experience genius in the concrete and to universalize genius in the abstract. So he was talking of genius in the concrete and genius in the abstract, and like it hit me, like when I read this, I thought, you're describing the S and the N world. And that was very interesting. He talks about it in the context of, he's a big tennis fan, and he reads all these biographies, and he's so disappointed with all of them. And yeah, it's because when like geniuses in the concrete try to be abstract, it can be rather simple and yeah, boring from an intuitive kind of perspective. And a few sentences later he writes, if it's just that we naively expect geniuses in motion to be also geniuses in reflection, then their failure to be that shouldn't really seem any crueler or more disillusioning than Kant's glass jaw or Eliot's inability to hit the curve. So yeah, he kind of expected that these great athletes also are great philosophers, and I think, yeah, if a person can be both, that's probably a very powerful person. Sorry, I thought there was an animal. So, yes, and yeah, when I read this, I was like, oh, this is a perfect description of, I don't know if SE and NI, to me it feels like it's SE and NI, but maybe it's just the sensor and the intuitive world. And that was quite interesting to me, like, especially as I'm also in like the grip of the two at the moment. Like, I'm doing lots of sensor stuff, and that's great for me to learn, but yeah, it's difficult to like find the balance. But I mean, that's only to be expected after like 10 days on the road, or is it even? It's a week, yeah. So that's something I guess I will hopefully learn in the future. And there's some more noise coming. Oh no, I think, oh, the owner of the pub is bringing stuff to the garbage bin. I think I will probably be in a jail in any minute. He will come back now and see me, and then he will come talk to me. What are you doing here? And I already knows it. Now he spotted me, and oh, he ignored me. Sorry, I don't want to bore you, but I can't concentrate as long as I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I need safety in the outside world. I think he just pretended to not seeing me. Okay. I wanted to finish with the last... Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Now he called his wife. She's looking in my direction, too. This is kind of... I like the thrill. It's kind of thrilling. I'm nearly done, so come on. Give me 5 more minutes. Yeah, so at the end of this essay, he wrote the following. Okay, well, I guess you could also hear this noise. Welcome to the outside world. So he will come back a second time. I hope he ignores me again, but I think he will probably confront me this time. And then I have to hope. I can't finish this reading now. So I'm gonna try. As is so often the case with the truth, there's a cruel paradox involved. It may well be that we spectators, who are not divinely gifted as athletes, are the only ones able truly to see, articulate, and animate the experience of the gift we are denied. And that those who receive and act out the gift of athletic genius must, perforce, be blind and dumb about it. And not because blindness and dumbness are the price of the gift, but because they are its essence. And I find that to be very true. Like, in a way, dumbness or like empty-mindedness, thinking nothing, can be very powerful when you do SE activities like being a pro sportsman. I mean, I even realize it for myself when playing table tennis. In the best matches are the matches where my mind is empty. And yeah, if we connect this, then it only makes sense that all these biographies of these professional sports people, that sounds strange, that they are rather dim. And that's because that's the essence of success on the court, probably. Yeah. Yeah. If you're fully conscious of yourself and your thoughts during a match, then that's not gonna be helpful on the court. And yeah, that's something I will certainly now look at in players and see if there's a connection between good performance and perceived shallowness. Yeah, but I think, to come to a conclusion, I think there must be like a middle way, or not a middle way, but like to find a balance between the two. I mean, like, yeah, that's another point here where he describes like the ones who are not athletes are probably the better observers. Like David Foster Wallace, he was a better observer than an athlete. He was a good tennis player, but yeah, because I don't know his type, but I don't know enough about him, but could be INFP maybe. Yeah, but yeah, so there's a gift of observing, and that involves reflection too. And if you have that gift, you're probably better by describing it. Yeah, David Foster Wallace put it in better words as I just did, but yeah, that was quite interesting. But I rambled. The conclusion was, yeah, there must be like a balance between S and N stuff. Like, I think I'm trying it now. I'm outside. Oh, this light is quite annoying. But I'm trying to bring intuitive stuff into the sensor world. Yes. So, yeah, I think that's all for now. I don't even know if the internet connection was good enough. Anyway, good night.